I'm going to show you how to build your first multi-platform app and give you a quick tour around the LiveCode Development Environment. Start out by creating a new main stack by choosing New Main Stack from the File menu. Then drag out the user interface elements you might want to use. So I'll drag out a button, a checkbox, a text box, or I might want to import media, so I can go to File, Import as Control, and bring in an image. And that's it there. In LiveCode, all objects have got properties, so if I double click on this button, it'll bring up the property inspector. I'm going to call it Say Hello. I want this button just to bring up a dialog box that says Hello World. So I go to the code editor in the button by pressing Code on the toolbar. And LiveCode's already filtered out a mouse up event handler for me. And that's activated when the mouse is pressed and released. I go in and type answer hello world, hit apply. Now in LiveCode, everything is live, so if I want to try out this button, all I have to do is choose the Run tool from the top left of the Tools palette. I can immediately press the button, and it brings up a dialog that says Hello World. I'm going to name my project Hello World. And then if I want to save this as a standalone application, I go to Standalone Application Settings, and you'll see that by default, LiveCode has got Mac, Windows, and Linux checked. So all I have to do is go to the File menu and choose Save as Standalone Application. And a few seconds later, and I will have my standalone application. If I open up for Mac OS, I have my app here, and I can run it. And if I go in here, I've got my Windows version of the same application. If I double click that, it loads my Windows emulator, and you'll notice that we've got a native looking Windows application here. If I wanted to build the same application for iOS, I could go into Standalone Application Settings and choose to build for iOS. Assuming the Apple developer tools are installed, I can now just press the Test button on the toolbar. That'll go ahead and load the standard Apple iPhone simulator. That gives me an application which runs. You'll notice that this application interface doesn't look native. When you're dealing with iOS, you're either going to want to produce a custom skinned application, or you're going to want to use LiveCode's Mob GUI plugin. And this allows you to create native looking iPhone and Android applications. I'll show you how to do both of those things in a future video. If you want to make this application more sophisticated, you could go ahead and add additional screens. So I could choose New Card, for example. LiveCode uses a card and stack metaphor for navigating around a project structure. So if I load this up in the user guide, you'll see that every screen within a window is called a card, and a stack of cards is called a stack. If I want to produce a document window, a palette, or a dialog, I create a new substack. And I can do that simply by choosing New Substack in the File menu. If I want to navigate around, I can use the LiveCode application browser. That lets me go back to that first card that I created. The only two other things I'm going to show you are how to get help. You already saw that the user guide was available in the Help menu. There's a really handy set of step-by-step tasks in the Tutorials button on the toolbar. And that lets you go and get help with common tasks, and you can flick through those or you can search. The API guide is available in the dictionary. If I load that up, I see a list of all of the various keywords that LiveCode has. And if I wanted to see a list of all of the messages that could be sent, for example, I'll go to Messages and see that I've got an arrow key message. Or if I scroll down here, I'll find that I've got a location changed message, for example, which is sent whenever a user changes physical location using a mobile device. So that's really all there is to building your first multi-platform app.